I've been creating a lot of Afro fusion. So like a lot of this is subgenre in the Afro beat world called like Alte Cruise. So I mean, Alte Cruise is essentially like, from based on like my understanding, it's taking like non-typical Afro sounds, or I guess maybe dancehall sounds, and adding like a Afro groove to it. So like, you can add like imagine like a trap melody with an Afro drums to it.
Gotcha.
That's like, kind of like Alte.
Okay.
Some of it's dark, some of it can be bright, but it's just different from what you usually hear in typical Afro beat. I'm working with Infinite. He's a urban Latin artist. That's like what Spotify gets to brand him. He can't really define his own genre, but yeah. So
it's all up to the algorithm.
It's all now, right. But he and I are working like on some like cool, different like Afro dembo mixture.
Welcome to Outside the Algorithm, where you'll find a universe of independent voices. I'm your host, Samuel Patrick, aka Drift Sonics, and today I'd like to introduce you to ITSBYNU. He's a producer and engineer from the Boston area, currently based in Los Angeles, California. I pulled up to his studio a few days after arriving in LA. It just so happened the Super Smash Bros were in town as well and on their way over for a session. We chopped it up outside while they made their way to the studio, and then I got to see him work for real. In this intro, we talked about making music full-time, his preference for building songs and sounds with artists, the future of Afrobeats, and we took a dive into the hardware and software he uses. If you'd like to hear even more, our members have access to the full conversation, and you can too by clicking the link in the description. It's free to sign up, and we've got plenty of exclusives on the way. You'll also get all our past episodes of Outside the Algorithm, including Teddy Rockspin, Yoshi Vintage, AJ the One, and more. So without further ado...
New.
Hey, what's going on, Sam?
What's happening?
Just moved to California, and I'm living the dream. No, I'm joking. No.
Dude, how do you feel about people that say living the dream to you?
I just think it's like they're just trying to like fit an image, They're just trying to like, create this fake narrative about themselves, like, yo, I'm part of this like LA lifestyle now. I'm living the dream. It's reality. We have inflation. People can barely afford to, pay for gas. It's crazy out here. But no, I'm actually moved out here. I'm actually really happy to be out here. I have a lot of friends out here, so I get to really dive in and really like pursue my career in music like fully, because I just feel like I have more resources out here, and like I said, like all my friends out here, man. I love it out here.
I did notice, it seemed like you had a number of records where you were collaborating across the country with people. Is that something you were already doing prior to the pandemic, or is that something that you developed along the way? Or
definitely developed.
Yeah.
I'm all about like working with artists that like I vibe with.
Okay.
I don't some producers do it, there's no, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but that's not my vibe. But like some people just produce for anyone, but I like to produce for people that like I actually connect with. And also like, that I feel like the true definition of a producer is like from beginning to end, like you're creating the record. So like you're producing it, you're sending it to the artist to get like, like a demo going, and then mixing process, and then actually finalizing it to the end. So I just feel like that's what I want to do. I don't want to be a producer and I mean, I'm not against it. Like if there's an opportunity, like, hey, Drake wants a beat pack, I'm going to send a beat pack to Drake, but like at the end of the day, ideally I would love to be part of the whole process. Cause producers, like, that's your sound. When you produce a beat, like for an artist, that's your sound. You want to make sure like it sounds good. You don't want to just give it to any artist, cause that's your brand. And, I know a lot of producers are like, hey, like, I produce this song for whoever, some big name artists, and it sounds bad. It's like, well, how do you feel about the song? You know what I mean? It's like,
I see what you say.
Yeah. It's well, like, at the end of the day, like, it's a hustle though. Some people need to give the beat to like this rapper that you may not like, but it can possibly open the door for other opportunities. But it's all about perspective, man. So.
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting for producers because there's so many different lanes y'all can take.
Right.
Like there's the the dude who's just trying to sell as many beats as he can every day. There's somebody who's trying to move sample packs. There's somebody who's trying to sell, like, take one artist at a time.
Right.
There's so many different, so you can't knock it because there's so many different hustles within being a producer.
Yeah.
That you almost have to, like, sit and stop and think which one you want to do. The whole idea behind this fusion is Afrobeats rhythms on other sounds. And I feel like DJs have been amped that Afrobeats are hitting here now because they've been waiting to, they've been kind of stuck in a groove with what they've been playing, and they're, not that they don't like the hard, it's been heavy, hard, sort of aggressive trap stuff for a minute, and I think they're really happy that now they can get really these dance grooves happening. So I could see if people start putting their own sounds on those, I could see those fitting in a lot of playlists and going a lot of different directions.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I think Afrobeat is like here to stay. In like just like how reggae music and dancehall came in like what the early 2000s. Like it's here to stay. They still play it, reggae and dancehall in all the clubs. So yeah, and it's. I think it's becoming more. Like when I was younger, it wasn't normal.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I played like an Afrobeat, people would be like, what is this? You know what I mean? Turn it off, but now it's...
Oh, they told you to turn it off?
Man, I mean, I grew up in the suburbs, so... so it wasn't like, it was like they were listening to rock music and Kiss 108, whatever.
He is from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Oh man, Kiss kills me. One thing I've learned talking to producers, other producers really want to know what you're using. Like, we got to get into the gear.
The gear... So I am an Ableton guy.
All right.
Started off with Logic back in the day. Then I went to, actually not live. Started with Reason. Then I went to Logic. Then I moved to Ableton. But what's crazy? My Ableton relationship was like, was toxic. So kind of I was with it for a little bit, and then I went back to Logic. You know what? Logic got some things that I like. Ableton's actually better. So I'm on Ableton like right now. I have used FL if anyone's asking. I have it on my laptop just in case. I got that. I understand to use FL, but I'm still an Ableton guy just because of the workflow. Just works for me. So I'm a big UAD guy. So whenever like I love guitar samples. Okay. So I love the UAD like preamps they have. Because I have an Apollo, so they have the virtual emulator amps, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So I run a lot of my like guitar samples through there, and then I do like a lot of sampling. I got a tape machine that I left in Boston, but
a tape machine.
Yeah, it's a reel-to-reel.
Fire.
Yeah. I started doing a lot of drum processing through it, so get a nice like texture to my drums. A secret plugin I started using a lot. It's gonna sound crazy, but a lot of times if I really want some crazy, just like saturation sounds with like my drums, I use this free plugin called G-Clip.
Yeah.
It's a clipper, but it just gives you the ability to like shape the clip and how much clip you want. I know a lot of clippers, I know like a T-Rex classic clipper is something that a lot of people use, but this one is like, it has its own like tone and color to it, which I really like. So that's my secret like sauce when it comes to like really making like bright, saturated, like especially the snares. If you want your snare to really pop, add that G-clip on it, turn it up, do whatever you want to it. I put it on my drum bus, so gives a nice little crunch to my my overall like drums. So yeah.
Yo, you're the man. You dropped the secret sauce for us.
Hey man, so some people like it's like. They think it's like the craziest plugins. Nah, it'd be the simplest stuff, man. Like even free shit be working. So I'm like, yo, just do your research. Reddit, another gem. Reddit's huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gear sluts or something.
yeah. That too is also.
Is that the one?
Yeah. Yo, that's crazy that like that they named it that website. That also is a gem low key, so I definitely applaud them because they have a whole forum.
Yeah, with a Z, guys.
Right.
Do you use any hardware to go with that, or keyboard?
Oh yeah, I got like M Audio, the simple like what 40 something keys.
Okay.
I got that. Or I mean,
Just a light 40 keys.
yeah. So I mean, so when I'm in the studio, like that's like when I'm in my own crib.
Yeah.
But when I'm in the studio, we got 1176. We got a 2A, LA 2A for like some preamps. We do have I actually got hip to this recently, running using Apogee as an audio interface, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
It's an alternative to like, if you don't want to spend like, what was it, $1,000 or $2,000 for a UAD Apollo. Like it's a pretty good, clean like audio interface. So I definitely recommend look into Apogee.
Was there anything you wanted to talk about that we didn't?
There's something that I always want to tell people out here in LA, man. Watch out for Boston. Watch out for Boston. We had a crazy year. Don't sleep on us. We got a lot of talent coming out. A lot of people say, "Oh, you guys just have Jonah Lucas and Cousins Stiz." No,
Not even.
we got Bia. We got the Van Buren's coming out here, man. Like the type of talent that I've been seeing the last year is crazy.
Yes.
We're making noise, and even producers out here from Boston and Massachusetts. I'm gonna say Massachusetts because honestly,
I'll go as big as New England, man. If you want to.
yeah, New England is making serious noise, and I feel like the industry is finally like, okay, eyebrows up now, like what's going on here? They're paying attention. They want more, and we're gonna make more hits. We're gonna make more hits. We're gonna shock the world. I feel like that's the one thing I want the rest of the country, even the rest of the world, to know, like, yo, don't sleep on the Northeast, man. Boston, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire. Like Vermont. You know what I'm saying? Like they got some people out there.
Vermont's got some dudes. I think 99 Neighbors are on Billboard right now.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
I think they're. I don't have a chart in front of me, but I know they've been doing a ton of noise. So
See?
yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going with that talk, man. You're giving me chills. I love it.
No, yeah.
And I think people. I'll add to that. I think people for a while were like trying to figure out what is Boston's sound, but I think the strength is there's so many different flavors. Like, because you just named a bunch of people that sound totally different than each other. Even in Van Buren, they all sound totally different than each other,
dude.
which is their superpower. But like, Boston's got whatever you want, really.
Yeah, we do it all, man.
Thanks for joining us. Shout out to ITSBYNU for welcoming us into his space and sharing his process. He cooked up a beat right after, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. You can find us everywhere at LFOD.life. If you want to learn more about ITSBYNU, you can hear our full convo via the link below. By joining, you'll also ensure that new videos, music, etc. will be delivered right to your inbox. It's the best way to really get outside the algorithm. We drop member exclusives and a newsletter with new music and videos every month. Stick around for a clip from the full interview after this. Thanks again to ITSBYNU, the whole LFOD fam, and all our members for making this possible. I'll catch you next time. Peace.
Positivity is a better movement. Let us do this. Level up and get into this evolution. Revolutionary method music. Get us choosing everything but less excuses. Shout out to the kings and queens with everything to lose. They never lose it.
So much glory in the story. So much glory.
Actually, I do have one more gem to give away. I shouldn't be doing this.
It's gonna come back to you 10 times.
I know, shit. Okay, so Plugin Alliance, I think UAD also has a version of this. I may be wrong, but Plugin Alliance has this plugin. It's called the Black Box. Black Box, you put on your drum bus, even as like on your mix bus. I'm not even gonna say much. Just check it. Just download the trial.